Hello everyone, Julie here. It's been a while since we talked about tactical RPGs in general, and looking at countless masterpieces in this genre, I think this is a good time to talk about which tactical RPGs that actually deserve a perfect 10 out of 10 score. That being said, I realize that some of you might disagree with my list, but that's okay, because at the end of the day, we all have our own opinions. Before we go into the list, I want to tell you a great news for any SRPG fans out there, especially if you love classic tactical JRPGs. I'm sure all of you already heard Swords of Confalaria, and I'm so excited to tell you that Sword of Confalaria will be having a fantastic collab with an amazing anime series, Delicious in Dungeon. There are a lot of interesting contents and events that you can participate, which means you can win tons of rewards in this collab. There is a limited time collab character banner that you surely don't want to miss. You can win Marcille and Falin from the anime series as your new character, get 50% off for your first 10 pull, and you are also guaranteed to get the featured collab legendary character within 100 pulls. There's also a free collab legendary character Shenshi that you can win for free by completing time limited quests in this event. And if you think we will be only talking about character banners, you are hugely mistaken. In this collab event, there will be a brand new collab story that blends themes of Delicious in Dungeon with the lore of Sword of Confalaria. The Leo squad arrives in Iria and teams up with our familiar allies to explore a mysterious dungeon. Along the way, they will cook unique monster-based dishes, helping others, and also searching for their missing companions. There will be abundant summon resources that you can get by participating in this collab story, or even just simply logging into the game. So what are you waiting for? Answer your call by clicking the link in the description below and join this fantastic event starting from August 29 and win tons of rewards in the process. You can download Sword of Confalaria through the link down below and enjoy the authentic tactical JRPG experience. Alright then, let's get back into the list. Colony Ship is one of those rare titles that earns its place not by chasing spectacle, but by fully committing to the essence of what an RPG should be. Set aboard a massive generation ship launched from a dying Earth, the game thrives on its harsh, unflinching vision of humanity's struggle to survive, adapt, and govern itself in a confined, isolated world. What makes Colony Ship stand out is the strength of its role-playing design. Every choice carries weight, not just in dialogue, but in how the player builds their character and interacts with the different factions. Skills and attributes are not just numbers on a sheet, they shape the way the world reacts to you. Combat in Colony Ship is deliberately brutal and unforgiving. Tactical depth is the cornerstone of this game, rewarding careful planning and positioning over brute aggression. Most importantly, combat is not always the best solution. Sometimes it's wiser to talk, sneak, or negotiate, further broadening the ways the player can approach each scenario. Brigandine: The Legend of Forsena is a strategy RPG that truly deserves a masterpiece title for the way it captures the essence of large-scale fantasy conflict while still allowing players to feel the weight of every small decision. Released in the late 90s, it remains one of the finest examples of how to combine tactical battles, political maneuvering, and role-playing elements into one cohesive experience. At its core, Brigandine is about leading a nation, managing knights, and commanding squads of fantastical creatures in turn-based battles. Each nation comes with its own history, leaders, and motivations, which means every playthrough feels distinct. The player isn't given a faceless army, but a cast of characters whose growth, survival, and choices shape the course of the campaign. The attachment you form with your knights and monsters is one of the game's most powerful qualities. Losing a seasoned knight or a rare creature carries a genuine sense of loss, and victories feel all the sweeter because of the risk involved. Wartales is a game that embodies what it means to live and survive in a harsh medieval world, and it fully commits to that vision. Rather than telling a scripted tale of heroes and destiny, it drops you into a land torn by war, disease, and shifting power, and asks you to guide a band of mercenaries through it. What makes this game remarkable is that everything you do, whether in battle, in camp, or while negotiating with lords and peasants, feels like it belongs to a larger, breathing world. Combat is tense and layered. built around a turn-based system that rewards planning and careful positioning. Units are not faceless soldiers, they are your mercenaries, each with their own skills, gear, and injuries. A wounded companion can shift the balance of a fight, and the loss of a veteran is not just a setback in numbers, but an emotional blow to the company you've built. The variety of enemy types, terrain effects, and class synergies also ensures battles never feel repetitive, even after dozens of hours. Valkyria Chronicles is one of those games that feels timeless because of how well it blends story, style, and gameplay into one unified experience. What sets Valkyria Chronicles apart is its unique battle system, called the Blitz, which combines the planning of turn-based strategy with the immediacy of third-person action. You command squads on a tactical map, but when a unit moves, you take direct control, aiming weapons and choosing actions yourself. The cast of characters is also another strength. Each squad member has their own quirks, backstory, and even gameplay traits tied to their personalities. Some fight harder near friends, while others falter in certain conditions. These details make them feel like real people, not just tools of war. Losing a squad member can hurt not just strategically, but emotionally, and victories feel more rewarding when you know the struggles each soldier brings into battle. Disgaea 5 is the kind of game that shows what can happen when a studio fully commits to a vision and refuses to hold anything back. Where the game truly earned its acclaim is in its gameplay depth. Battles take place on grid-based maps, but what sets it apart is the endless variety of mechanics layered on top of this structure. From lifting and throwing allies and enemies, to executing massive team combos, to manipulating map effects, every encounter becomes a puzzle with countless solutions. The systems interlock seamlessly, offering freedom for creativity in a way that few tactical RPGs achieve. Progression is also another area where the game excels. Characters can be customized to an extreme degree, from job classes and skills to equipment and abilities. The reincarnation system allows you to restart a character at level 1 while retaining enhanced stats, creating a loop that rewards dedication with exponential growth. Front Mission 3 is one of the finest tactical RPGs of its era, and it deserves a masterpiece title because of how it succeeds on every front. Engaging tactical combat, rich customization, meaningful narrative choices, and a grounded world that draws players in. At its core, Front Mission 3 is about tactical battles fought with Wanzers, customizable combat mechs that serve as the backbone of the game. Each Wanzer can be built and tuned to fit a specific role, from heavy armor units to nimble scouts, and the modular design allows players to swap parts, weapons, and equipment to craft unique builds. This level of customization ensures that battles are never just about numbers. They are about preparation, adaptation, and exploiting both the terrain and the enemy's weaknesses. Replayability is also another of its strengths, with 2 campaigns, extensive mech customization, and battles that can unfold in different ways depending on your choices. The game offers reasons to return long after finishing it once. Tactics Ogre is one of the most important tactical RPGs ever made, and it successfully combines strategic brilliance with storytelling that feels weighty, human, and unforgettable. From the very start, the game distinguishes itself through its branching narrative. Unlike many RPGs where choices lead to minor differences, Tactics Ogre forces you to make decisions that drastically alter the course of the story. Who you ally with, who you betray, and whether you compromise your morals for survival all change not only the plot but how you perceive the characters and the world. The gameplay is also just as strong. The depth comes from how it balances unit classes, terrain, positioning, and long-term planning. The wide variety of classes and abilities gives players freedom to shape their armies as they see fit, while still requiring thoughtful coordination to succeed.
greatest of hosts.
Wasteland 3 successfully captures the essence of what makes RPGs powerful: freedom, consequence, and immersion. The writing is one of its greatest strengths. Conversations are sharp, witty, and often darkly humorous, but they never lose sight of the stakes. Characters are memorable not because they are exaggerated, but because they feel like real people trying to navigate an unforgiving world. The choices you make in dialogue are rarely cosmetic. They shape relationships, determine alliances, and can even lead to radically different outcomes for entire communities. Combat is also equally satisfying. Built on a turn-based tactical system, it rewards careful positioning, smart use of cover, and effective coordination between squad members. Every character you recruit can be customized extensively, from skills and perks to weapons and gear, allowing you to craft a squad that matches your playstyle. Released in the early 90s, Shining Force 2 remains a shining example of how to make a game both approachable for newcomers and deeply rewarding for veterans. It doesn't rely on flashy storytelling tricks or complex systems layered for their own sake. Instead, it delivers a timeless balance of exploration, combat, and progression that still feels natural even today. The combat system is the centerpiece of the experience. Battles play out on grid-based maps, with careful positioning, terrain, and unit roles all determining the outcome. Every character has a clear purpose, whether it's frontline strength, range support, or magical power, and using them effectively is the key to victory. Progression is also another area where the game excels. Characters level up and can later be promoted into advanced classes, giving them new abilities and stronger stats. Unlike some tactical RPGs where characters outside the main cast feel secondary, Shining Force 2 makes each hero meaningful. Even the less obvious choices can become valuable if you nurture them correctly. Wildermyth is a game that redefines what role-playing in a strategy RPG can feels like. Instead of handing players a fixed story with rigid characters, it gives them a living, breathing narrative that grows organically out of their decisions. The game begins simply enough, a small group of ordinary villagers banding together to defend their homes. But what follows is not a scripted tale of predetermined heroes, it is the slow transformation of those villagers into legends. Characters age, fall in love, suffer injuries, gain strange powers, and sometimes die. And all of these moments are woven into the narrative through dynamic story events. What makes this so effective is the game's procedural storytelling system. Instead of fixed dialogue or cutscenes, Wildermyth uses branching story fragments that adapt to your party's personalities and circumstances. These emergent details make each campaign feel unique, and they create stories that belong to you as much as to the game. But before we go into the list, I want to introduce you to the best platform for buying games in this modern era, and it's called Instant Gaming. Instant Gaming is the perfect place for you to shop in games these days. You can buy various games for your chosen platforms, whether it's PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and even Nintendo Switch, and they have the best deals as well. I mean, look at these prices. There are also numerous convenient products to enhance your gaming experience, like subscription, gift cards, and many more. So what are you waiting for? All you have to do is just click my link in the description below, start searching for your favorite games, and use the activation code on your chosen platforms. By using my link, you're not only saving tons of money, but also helping me to support this channel. Alright then, let's get back into the list.
지금 달려가요.
Troubleshooter Abandoned Children is a game that quietly grew into one of the most impressive tactical RPGs of the past decade. At first glance, it might look like a niche, anime-inspired strategy title, but once you spend time with it, the scale and ambition of the game become clear. The heart of the game lies in its tactical combat system. Every character can be customized through a deep mastery board that allows you to shape their skills, abilities, and playstyle in highly personal ways. Battles are turn-based but loaded with reactive mechanics. Counterattacks, Overwatch abilities, elemental interactions, morale effects, and positioning choices that can shift the tide of combat. Unlike many games that settle into predictable loops, Troubleshooter constantly evolves. New allies, enemy factions, and mission types are introduced at a steady pace, keeping the game fresh even after dozens of hours. The difficulty can be demanding, but it never feels unfair. It feels like the game respects your intelligence and wants you to engage with its systems to the fullest.
이거 불확실성이 너무 높아. 비비, 쏴!
Unicorn Overlord is a rare achievement in tactical RPG design, a game that not only carries the spirit of classic strategy titles, but also reimagines what the genre can feel like. The narrative itself isn't revolutionary in premise, but the way it unfolds is remarkably engaging. Each region introduces new cultures, characters, and political conflicts, weaving together a story that feels expansive without losing its emotional core. That being said, the game's combat system is its strongest feature. On the surface, Unicorn Overlord offers tactical battles where units are deployed in squads across large maps, but beneath that lies a system of extraordinary flexibility. Each unit can be customized with different characters, classes, formations, and auto-battle tactics, allowing you to create teams that reflect your strategic vision. Battles play out with cinematic flair, yet they are rooted in layers of logic and planning. It's not about micromanaging every swing of a sword, but about crafting squads that synergize so well that watching them execute your strategy becomes deeply satisfying.
Face me and be cut down.
Fire Emblem Three Houses combines layers of storytelling, strategy, and player agency into one of the most complete experiences in the series. At its heart, the game is a war drama about loyalties, ideals, and the inevitable cost of leadership. By placing you in the role of a professor at Monastery, Three Houses allows you to build a relationship with your students long before war fractures the land of Fodlan. You are not just assigning units to the battlefield, you are guiding young men and women through lessons, watching them grow and helping shape their identities. The branching story paths are another reason the game feels exceptional. Choosing which house to lead doesn't simply change a few story beats, but it fundamentally alters the perspective of the war. Each route offers its own revelations, and only by playing multiple paths do you see the full picture of Fodlan's history and politics. This structure not only adds replay value, but also deepens the narrative by showing that no side is entirely right or wrong.
Let me take care of you. So this is as far as I can.
Divinity Original Sin 2 is a game that captures the freedom of tabletop adventures while maintaining the structure and polish of a modern video game. The foundation of its brilliance lies in player agency. From the very beginning, the game allows you to choose between pre-made origin characters with fully fleshed out backstories or create a custom protagonist of your own. This choice isn't superficial. The origins weave directly into the narrative, affecting how the world reacts to you, what quests open up, and even how your companions interact with one another. As for the combat, Divinity Original Sin 2 distinguishes itself from most modern RPGs. The turn-based battles are intricate, layered, and filled with opportunities for creativity. The environment itself is a tool, whether you're igniting oil to cut off enemy movement, shocking pools of water to disable opponents, or using high ground to gain tactical superiority. Every encounter feels like a puzzle with multiple solutions, and the synergy between elemental surfaces, character builds, and party coordination keeps battles dynamic throughout the entire adventure. Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader is one of those rare RPGs that not only adapts a beloved universe but also manages to bring out its full weight in storytelling, atmosphere, and mechanics. The heart of Rogue Trader lies in its ability to make you feel like a true leader in the 40k universe. Unlike most RPGs where you are a wandering adventurer, here you step into the role of a Rogue Trader, a figure of near absolute authority, granted the Emperor's blessing to explore, trade, and conquer the fringes of space. The branching storylines are filled with choices that go far beyond simple morality systems. Instead, decisions pull from the complex philosophies of Warhammer 40k. Each path shapes not only your character, but also the worlds you touch and the companions who follow you. As for the combat, the turn-based tactical system feels like an evolution of Pathfinder series. The inclusion of ship-to-ship combat also expands the tactical variety further, reminding you that your power extends beyond the battlefield into the grand strategy of space warfare.
I won't object to it.
XCOM 2 is a strategy RPG that defines an entire generation of tactical design. It takes everything that made its predecessor remarkable and elevates it into an even more intense, dynamic, and rewarding experience. What makes XCOM 2 so exceptional is how it transforms the player into the leader of a global resistance. Unlike the first game, where you are defending Earth from invasion, here you begin under the weight of defeat when the aliens have already won. The tactical combat system is where XCOM 2 shines brightest. Every battle is a puzzle of positioning, timing, and resource management, with enemies that punish mistakes harshly. The addition of concealment mechanics gives missions a fresh rhythm, allowing you to set up ambushes before chaos erupts. Terrain, line of sight, destructible cover, and the unpredictability of alien reinforcements make every mission tense and different. Soldiers aren't just units, they are characters you nurture, customize, and grow attached to, which makes losing them to a critical misstep devastating. Heroes of Might and Magic 3 is a game that not only stands as the pinnacle of its series, but also one of the greatest strategy titles ever made. At its foundation, Heroes of Might and Magic 3 delivers a strategy experience that feels complete in every layer. The adventure map is more than just a board to move armies around. It is a living puzzle filled with treasures, dangers, and opportunities. Every step matters a lot in this game, whether you are expanding your territory, managing resources, or seeking out powerful artifacts. The way exploration ties into strategic growth creates a constant push and pull between risk and reward, and that tension never loses its appeal. The variety of factions is another reason why the game is so successful. Each town type has its own distinct personality, not only in visual design but also in unit rosters, playstyle, and strategic strengths. From the noble knights of Castle to the undead legions of Necropolis, every choice feels meaningful, and learning their intricacies gives players endless ways to experiment. Battle Brothers might not be flawless in every detail, but it delivers a world that feels alive, brutal, and endlessly rewarding to master. Battle Brothers is a game about leading a mercenary company through a grim low fantasy setting, and everything about its design serves that vision with remarkable consistency. You begin with a ragged band of sellswords, poorly armed and desperate for coin. From that fragile start, the game asks you to carve out your own story, like taking contracts, recruiting men, upgrading equipment, and surviving the constant threats that roam the land. There is no hand-holding and no scripted safety net. Every decision, from which battles to fight to how you spend your limited gold, carries weight. The combat system is also where Battle Brothers shines brightest. Each soldier is unique, shaped not only by their background and traits, but also by scars, injuries, and equipment. Losing a veteran fighter hurts not just because of the setback in strength, but because of the personal history they carried with them. Final Fantasy Tactics is a landmark in tactical RPGs, a game that has stood the test of time not only because of its deep mechanics, but also because of its storytelling. The tale of Ramza and Delita is not one of simple heroes and villains, but of people shaped by the harsh realities of politics and war. Unlike many RPGs of its era, the game refuses to paint the world in black and white. Noble houses scheme for power, religious figures manipulate events, and those caught in between often suffer. The gameplay is equally brilliant. The turn-based battles demand patience and foresight, as positioning, class composition, and terrain all matter. The job system is the beating heart of the game, offering immense flexibility and depth. Training a party through multiple jobs, experimenting with combinations of skills, and watching units evolve from fragile recruits into versatile veterans is endlessly satisfying, offering immense replayability for fans of tactical RPGs. Baldur's Gate 3 is one of those rare games that feels like a defining moment for an entire genre. It is not simply a revival of a legendary RPG series, but a complete reimagining of what a computer RPG can be. What makes Baldur's Gate 3 stand apart is the sheer freedom it gives the player. Every quest, every encounter, every decision branches into possibilities that feel organic rather than scripted. The game trusts players to experiment, to push at its systems, and to come up with their own solutions. A locked door might be opened with a spell, picked with a rogue's tools, smashed with brute force, or bypassed entirely with clever thinking. The combat itself is a perfect translation of D&D's turn-based rule set. It is tactical, challenging, and endlessly flexible. Verticality, environmental effects, and creative spell combinations turn every encounter into a puzzle waiting to be solved. The difficulty never feels unfair. It pushes players to think strategically while still allowing wild improvisational moments that feel ripped straight from a tabletop session. Alright boys, I think that's it for today. I know that there are other tactical RPG masterpieces that I haven't mentioned yet, so how about sharing your best tactical RPGs that probably deserve the spot in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss another great list. Thank you for watching and have a good day. Peace!